I'm here with Micah Tyler. We are in Orlando. It's so great to connect with you.
Great to be here.
Now, I know you wanted to hold the mic because it looks like a Bob Barker mic.
It does.
But
I'm resisting
you're
right
okay.
now. I'm letting you host. I'm just a contestant here.
So I've gotten a chance to kind of get a taste for your humor, and I've heard it on podcasts and interviews and stuff. Yeah. So I want to know, like, out of all the Christian artists that you know, that you connect with on your label or not, who's the guy or the girl who, like, if we put you in a room together, like, watch out?
I don't get it's actually pretty funny because my last two singles I've written with this guy and I love writing with him, but it's really hard for me and Matthew West to get a whole lot of work done. There's a lot of just one joke after another. But you know who's an odd one that you wouldn't know? Phil Wickham is remarkably funny. Yeah. Like a really, really funny guy. So that's on the label. And then Bart is another one who just, again, I've done over 100 Mercy Me shows, and I've gotten to meet him a couple times, which has been great. Yeah. But no, those are all guys who I like to get in a room with and just have a good time with. But Matthew's one that it's odd that we've gotten 2 songs done because outside of those 3.5 minute songs, there's hours and hours of us wasting each other's time.
I knew you'd say Matthew. I really did.
He's a given.
And Bart, actually, I interviewed him and I talked to him about comedy a little bit. And I asked him, I said, who's the funniest person in your life? He says his wife, which I thought was so sweet.
I thought you were going to say me. And I was just a bit let down. So just give me a second. Just kind of.
Okay. Don't worry.
Sure, his wife. No, great. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. It's not me. It doesn't hurt my feelings or anything. So it's fine.
We'll switch gears. I love it. Okay, so you were raised by a Catholic father,
yes,
and a Baptist mother.
I was a Catholic.
So I was gonna say, are you Baptist or Catholic?
I was a Catholic for 10 years. Went to catechism training on Wednesdays and Sunday school on Sundays, which is a little confusing. I did end up going to vacation Bible school at Central Baptist Church when I was 10. That's when I accepted Christ. My dad could not have been any more supportive. He just wanted Jesus to be at the center of our lives wherever we were at. And so he was very, very, like, I could not say enough incredible things with my dad, just being like, hey, if God is speaking to him in this church, we would be raised there. So yes, I was raised in the Baptist church, but we'd go to like Easter services, Christmas services, go over there. And so in this past year, I actually sang at the Vatican.
Oh, wow.
I got invited to sing at the Vatican for this event, this ministry that we kind of partnered with this past year. So my dad was pretty pumped about that one. So there's still, the Lord still like giving me a couple opportunities to kind of jump in there with my dad. And so it's been really neat, but yeah. Dad's still going strong.
I think that's so important though, because it helps us to see different ways that churches, do. Yeah. And it just kind of shows that it's the same Jesus.
Jesus is the same.
And we can, remove the denomination barriers and stuff.
And for me, I got a front row seat as a kid watching my parents being very devout, being towards the Lord. Like at the end of the day, I didn't grow up being like, my dad's Catholic, my mom's Baptist. I knew my parents loved Jesus. And they just loved him through different, avenues in the church, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they know that he is the way, the truth, and the life. So I got a front row seat of being like watching my parents who don't see eye to eye on every single thing denominationally, but also understand that Jesus is the foundation. So for me, it was a great opportunity for me to see that growing up in my own house.
Yeah. And now you have kids, you can do the same.
That's right.
So I know you're a small town guy.
Still, yeah.
And are you in the same town that you grew up in?
I've never lived outside of 77612 area. That zip code has been my zip code my entire life. I married my high school sweetheart. We got married at 20 because we could not wait any longer. We had to be poor immediately. And so I started in youth ministry at 18 years old in my hometown, did youth ministry for 9 years, started playing guitar when I was 20 because I wanted somebody to lead worship for the youth group. So I bought a guitar. They didn't play it. I had to learn how to play it. At 27, God called me to do this full time. So we bought a single wide mobile home trailer, put it on some borrowed land there in Buna. And I've been doing music now for 12 years. We built a house next to my parents a week before the pandemic. We moved in. So yeah, the roots are all the way to the bottom in Buna, Texas.
Do you have? So I'm new to small towns.
Yeah.
Just during COVID, we moved to a small town. So what would you say? And I know I'm noticing every small town has its thing.
Yes.
So other than you, what's the biggest draw of Buna?
So okay, here's the deal. So I don't live in a city.
Right.
I live in a town.
Right.
We're an unincorporated township. So we don't have a mayor. There's no mayor. There's no like figurehead position in our town. But the big deal we have is at the second Saturday in March is the Red Bud Festival. It's this little pink bush tree looking thing. Red Bud Festival, and they award a Red Bud King and Queen every year.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
I've never gotten it. I've not gotten it yet. I'm still kind of young. Yeah. But I feel like my wife was a school teacher there. She was valedictorian at Buna High School. We've lived there the whole time. So If anyone from Buna Chamber of Commerce is watching, this is my official resume. I'm trying to build it. I'm an ambassador for the town. I'm talking about it here in Orlando. It's going international in Canada. So It's a small town, big heart. It's Buna, Texas, and I would love to be considered for your Red Bud King.
Right here.
This is it.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
Because I know you have a book, Walking Free.
Yeah.
And I did hear that there was a kid's book you were supposed to do.
That's right.
And I actually have a kid's book interview feature every week on my show.
Come on.
So what's going on? Is that still going to come?
I really wanted to. That's what was funny was I went to the publisher. I went to my manager and I said, hey, I've got this idea. So Wesley Keziah is the guy. If you watch the Walking Free music video, the Ground 40 ministry that we partnered with, the first guy in the video who was arrested 87 times, turned his life around.
Yeah.
So Wesley is one of the strongest believers, one of my best buds. He's the one who pitched this idea for a kid's book to me. And I was like, I love this idea. So me and him kind of collaborated. I called a management company. I said, hey, I'd like to write a kid's book. And they said, that's amazing. So then about 2 months later, Walking Free's out. And I was like, I'm seeing other artists do like a U version, like a 7-day U version.
Devotional,
So I called my management company. I was like, hey, look, I got this idea, 7 days to Walking Free. Like you won't walk free in 7 days. What are 7 steps we could take towards walking in the freedom of Jesus? I told them that idea. They said, we love that idea. We'll figure out how to do it. They called me back and said, hey, we got a meeting with the publisher about the book. And I was like, this is amazing. The kid's book's going to happen. I walked into that meeting and in front of me is a paper that says Walking Free Devotional. And I was like, well, this is
the book.
This is not what I was thinking it's going to be. Had a great meeting, realized that this is what we're supposed to do, wrote that book. Now, here's my favorite part. Book's over with. We write the whole thing. We're about to release it. And they said, hey, for a promotional thing, we decided, like, we're going to take 7 of these steps and make them into like a U version thing. So what ended up happening was I did end up getting my U version. All I had to do was write a full-blown book to get it.
That's it. No big deal.
So now I learned.
Anyone could do it.
So the kids' book is something I still have a heart for, still want to do it. It hasn't happened yet, but at some point, we'll get it out there.
Awesome.
But in the meantime, we have a grown-up book that's good for the whole family. So we're going for everybody now.
Walking Free.
That's it.
Micah Tyler.
Come on.
Actually, you get to hold it.
Oh my gosh. Next contestant on The Price is Right.